Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. In today's class, our first topic is framing word problems. What did we learn in the previous class, children? We learned how to solve word problems, right? In this, we will learn how to frame word problems. We can frame word problems if any statement or subtraction fact is given. Now, what does the word framing problems means is, see children, we know how to answer a question. Yes, if I ask you what did you have for breakfast today, you will say suppose idli. Now what is this? This is our answer, idli, and what did you have for your breakfast is the question. What happens in framing a question is, on the basis of the answer I will frame a question. Suppose the answer is I had an idli. What might be the question? The question can be, what did you have for breakfast, or what did you have for your snacks, or what is your favorite breakfast? Yes, anything can be the question. For this answer, we are preparing the question for the answer. So this is called as framing the question. In the same way, here we will learn about framing word problems. See, in this example, we have to write a word problem for the following statement. 458 toffees minus 327 toffees is equal to how many toffees? Yes children, what is the sentence here? 458 toffees minus 327 toffees. Now how can we frame a question? We can say that there were 458 toffees in a box, of which 327 were taken out. Now how many are left in the box? Yes? Yes children, that is what subtraction means, right? Subtraction means taking out, or when we give away to someone, or when we lose something. Yes, that is when we use subtraction. That is one example. Or look at the example given here in the question. Rahul bought 458 toffees. He gave 327 toffees to his sister. How many toffees were left with Rahul? Yes, they are saying that these 458 toffees were bought by Rahul, of which he gave away 327 toffees, and we need to find out how many toffees were left with Rahul. Okay children, now that can be one possibility. Or else you can say that a shopkeeper had 458 toffees. Of these, he sold 327 toffees. Now how many toffees are left with the shopkeeper? Yes children, these are the many examples, many word problems we can frame on the basis of this statement here. Next example is 850 minus 560 is equal to how much? Yes children, here again we are given with two numbers, of which one is subtracted from the other. Now what can we think of it? In the previous example, if you see, he clearly mentioned that these numbers are toffees. What did he mention? He mentioned that these numbers are toffees. But here he simply gave the numbers. He did not say whether these are toffees or what. So we can assume these to be whatever. These 850 can be pens or pencils, or as here given in the example, they can be kites also. There are 850 kites in the shop. This is the total. Yes, total. Now the shopkeeper sold 560 kites. 560 is removed. Yes children, that means the shopkeeper has sold 560 kites. Now what will be the answer? When we subtract, we will get the kites that are left. So how many kites are left? When such a question is given, you will do 850 minus 560. Understood children? For the answer, we need to write a question. That is the opposite of what we have been doing. Till now we wrote answer for the given question, but now we have to frame a question for the given answer. Or the other question that can be formed is, a jar can hold 850 candies. Yes, total candies, 850 candies. If there are only 560 candies, how many more candies are needed to fill the jar? Yes children, in this jar 850 candies can be filled, okay, or simply you can understand that 5 candies can be filled. In a box you can keep 5 candies, but actually we have put only 3 candies. Yes, so how many more candies can I put in this? How can I find out? When I subtract these two, 5 minus 3 is equals to 2. Yes children, in the same way in the given question we have assumed that a jar can hold 850 candies. If there are only 560 candies in it, how many more are needed to fill the jar? Now here for this type of questions there cannot be one single correct answer children, okay? There can be many answers for this. Clear? Let us solve few more examples so that the topic becomes more clear. Frame a word problem for the statements. First statement is 640 mangoes minus 238 mangoes is equal to how many mangoes? Yes children, here see for those numbers they have clearly mentioned that these numbers are mangoes. 640 mangoes and 238 mangoes. Now how can we frame a question? We can say that there were 640 mangoes of which Rahul ate 238 mangoes. Now how many more mangoes are left? Okay? Yes children, that can be one word problem that can be formed, or you can say that there were 640 mangoes in a box of which 238 mangoes were taken out. How many mangoes are left in the box? Yes? Yes children, that might be the question. Or else a family had 640 mangoes of which 238 mangoes were distributed to others. These were given to others. Now how many mangoes are left for the family to eat? Understood? So we can form many word problems for a given statement. Coming to statement number B. 820 students minus 544 boys is equal to how many girls? Yes, we have done a similar problem right in the previous video. In a class there are 850 students of which 544 are boys. Find the number of girls. Yes, this can be the question for this. Or you can say that in a given exam, for an exam 820 students attended the exam, okay, of which 548 were boys. Now how many girls wrote the exam? Understood children? So these can be the word problems that can be framed for those statements. Now look at these statements here. Here again it is not mentioned. Yes, it is not mentioned what these numbers are. Are these mangoes or students or pencils or erasers? We do not know. Yes, so again the number of answers we can write for this increases. Question number A. 370 minus 120. What can this be? An example word problem for this can be that in a bouquet there were 370 flowers. Yes, there were 370 flowers of which 120 flowers dried up. Yes children, if we keep the flowers like that only, what will happen? The flowers will become dry. Yes, how many flowers did not dry? Yes, when we subtract the dried flowers from the total flowers, we will get the number of flowers that did not dry. Yes children, coming to the question number B. I am giving only one example for each statement here. Question number B. 725 minus 310 is equal to question mark. Again, what can this be? This can be that in a village, okay children, in a village there are 725 people. Yes, of which 310 people were female. Female means what? Female means it can be a girl, it can be mother, or it can be sisters or daughters or anyone. Yes children, all the females. There are 310 females. Now find out the number of males in the village. Yes, how can we do that? When we subtract the number of females from the total number of people, we get the total number of males. Clear, children? One, framing a word problem for the subtraction fact. Now coming to the last one, 824 minus 245. Okay, now in a library there were 824 books. Yes, children, there were 824 books, of which 245 are old books. What are these? 245 are old books. Now how many new books are there in the library? Yes, children. Yes, this can be a question for this, right? Total books minus old books will be equal to the new books in the library. Clear, children? What was this? This was framing word problems for a given subtraction fact or for a given statement. Now moving on to the next topic, which is estimating sums and differences. What is this? Estimating sums and differences. What is estimation? Estimation means rounding off a number, or you say that it's not the exact thing. Suppose if you wrote an exam, okay children, you had an ST in your class, a very simple daily test, and after the test your friend asks how many marks you think that you will get. Okay, the exam was for 50 marks. Okay, how many marks will you think that you will get? What will you say? I don't know, I might get 40 or even I might get 30. Yes, children, we cannot say the correct answer. We cannot say that I'll exactly get 42 or exactly get 36. Yes, we will estimate it and round it off and say that I can get 30 or I can get 40 marks in the exam. Yes, estimating means we are thinking that it might be the answer. It is not the exact answer. We are only thinking. That is, we are rounding off it to the nearest number possible. So, I can estimate that today it might rain. Okay, children, I am estimating that today it will rain. It may or may not rain. My estimation can be true or false. Simply because I have seen some dark clouds in the sky, I will estimate that it will rain. Yes, that is what estimating here. Now rounding off helps in estimating sums and differences. What rounding off? What is rounding off? The rounding off a number to the nearest tens and hundreds. How can we round off? We can round off a number to the nearest tens and hundreds. Let us learn about that. To round off a number to the nearest tens or hundreds, see the digit at ones and tens place respectively. See, if I give you a number 69, okay, this is to be rounded off to the nearest tens. Yes, children, it is to be rounded off to the nearest tens. What to do? Look at the digit in ones place. Look at the digit in what? Look at the digit in ones place. What is it? It is 9. 9 is greater than 5. Yes, 9 is greater than 5. So I will add 1 to the digit in tens place. Yes, rounding off to tens, right? So adding 1 to the digit in tens place. 6 plus 1 becomes 7, and this one's digit is replaced by 0. What it is replaced by? It is replaced by 0. Okay, children. Now 10, 20, 30. Yes, rounding off, there should be some rounds. Round means what? Circle. 0 here in mathematics. So in the given number we need to get rounds here. 69 can be rounded off to 70. How did we do that? We looked at the number in ones place. It is 9. It is greater than 5. So we added 1 to the digit in which place? In tens place. Why tens place? Because we are rounding off the digit to the nearest tens. 6 plus 1 becomes 7, and the digit in ones place is replaced with zeros. Yes, in the number 10, yes children, in the number 10 we have 0 in the ones place, right? So here also we are placing 0 in the ones place. Clear? Now what if the number we have taken is 63? Now 3 here in ones place is less than 5. Yes children? Now what to do in that case? The digit in tens place, right, as it is 6, and as I said we are rounding off to 10. 10 has 0 in ones place, so we will place 0 here in ones place. Yes children, if the digit is less than 5 or greater than 5 or equal to 5, anything, we will write 0 in the ones place. The only change comes in the digit in tens place. Yes children, what did we understand from this? If it is 5 or greater than 5, okay, if it is 65, see now 5 is in ones place, it is equal to 5, so we will round up. It is called as rounding up. Up means adding 1 to the digit in tens place. 6 plus 1 7, and again as I said 10 has 0 in ones place, so we will write 0 in ones place. 65 rounded off to the nearest tens is 70. Yes children, rounding down means not adding 1, simply writing 6 as it is. When will we round down? When the digit in ones place is less than 5. When will we round up? When the digit in ones place is greater than or equal to 5. What is this? This is for rounding off to the nearest tens. Clear children? If the number is 5 or greater than 5, the number will be rounded up. If it is 4 or less, then the number will be rounded down. That is less than 5. Okay children, if it is less than 5, it will be rounded down. See here we are having two examples. 67. Again 67. 7 is in ones place. It is greater than 5. So we will round up. How to round up? This is rounding off to nearest tens, right? So add 1 to the digit in tens place. 6 plus 1 7, and in 10 we are having 0 in ones place. So we will write 0 in ones place here. So 67 becomes 70. Yes, 67 is rounded up to 70. And if you look at 84 here, 84, 4 is in ones place. It is less than 5. Yes, so we round it down. That means the digit in tens place written as it is. Again 10 has 0 in ones place, so the number in ones place will be replaced with zeros. 84 is rounded down to 80. Clear children? What was this? This was estimating to the rounding off to the nearest 10. What was this? Rounding off to the nearest 10. Now how to round off to the nearest hundreds? Yes? See, in the number 563, what should we do? We should look at the digit in tens place. Yes children, for the number 63, rounding off to nearest tens. Yes, to the nearest tens. What did we do? We looked at the digit in ones place. That is a digit before it. In the same way, when we are rounding off to the nearest hundreds, look at the digit before it. What is it? It is the digit in tens place. Now 6. 6 is greater than 5. What did we learn children? When the digit is equal to or greater than 5, we round up. We are rounding it to nearest hundreds. Yes. So we add 1 to the digit in hundreds place. Rounding off to nearest hundreds. So we add 1 to the digit in hundreds place. 5 plus 1 6. Yes, and look at the digit number 100 children. We are having zeros in tens and ones place. So we will write zeros in tens and ones place. Clear? 563 is rounded up as 600. Understood children? That was rounding off a digit to the nearest 100. Let us look at some examples. 450. Again, what should we do? We are rounding off to the nearest 100. So look at the digit before it. 5. It is equal to 5. So what will you do? You will round up. Up means what? Adding 1. Add 1 to which digit? This is rounding off to nearest hundreds. So add 1 to the digit in hundreds place. 4 plus 1 becomes 5. And if you look at the number 100, 100 has 2 zeros. That is in tens and ones place. So in ones and tens place we will write zeros here. 450 is rounded up as 500. Clear children? 450 is rounded up as 500. Now another example here, 228. Again we are rounding off to what? This is very important children. You must always remember to what place we are rounding off. To the hundreds place. So look at the digit before it. Yes, that is the digit in tens place. 2 is less than 5. What will you do? You will round down. What does this mean? The digit in hundreds place will be written as it is. Again in the digit number 100 we are having 2 zeros. So we will write 2 zeros here. 228 is rounded down as 200. Yes, 228 is rounded down to 200. Clear children? What was this? This was rounding a number to the nearest tens and hundreds. Okay. No matter hundreds or tens, we follow the same rule. Greater than or equal to 5, round up. Less than 5, round down. For tens, we look at the digit in ones place. For hundreds, we look at the digit in tens place. Yes, the number just before it. Let us solve some examples. Round the numbers to the nearest tens and hundreds. See 164. First we need to round it off to the nearest 10. Yes children, to the nearest 10. So what should we do? We should look at the digit in ones place, that is before it. It is 4, less than 5. So we will round down. Yes, the digit in tens place is written as it is 6. Okay children, before this whatever we have before 4 here, it will be written as it is. We are having 16. So we are writing 16 as it is. And in the number 10, we are having 0 in the ones place. So in the ones place, we are replacing 4 with 0. Clear children? What did we get? We got 160. 164 is rounded down to 160. Now rounding it to the nearest 100. Yes, to the hundreds. What to do? Look at the digit in tens place. That is the before number. It is 6. It is greater than 5. So we'll round up. What does that mean? We are rounding off to hundreds, right? So we will add 1 to the digit in hundreds place. 1 plus 1 becomes 2. And then 100 has 2 zeros. So we'll write 2 zeros. 164 rounded off to nearest hundreds become 200. Clear children? Moving on to example number 2. 345. See. 345. First rounding off to tens. Yes. Look at the digit before it, that is in ones place. It is equal to 5. So we will round up. What will we do in rounding up? We will add 1. To what? To the digit in tens place. 3 as it is. 4 plus 1, 5. Now again in 10 we are having 0 in ones place. So we will write 0 in ones place. Clear children? 345 is rounded off as 350. Now the same number rounded off to the nearest hundreds. Yes. Rounding off to 100. So look at the digit before it, that is the tens place. This is what? 4, and it is less than 5. So we will round down. What does that mean? The digit in hundreds place written as it is. 3 written as it is. And in 100 we are having 2 zeros. So we will write 2 zeros here. 345 is rounded to the nearest 100 as 300. Clear children? What was this? This was rounding the number to the nearest 10 and 100. Yes, children, now let us see how to estimate the sum. Okay, how to estimate the sum. Now here we are having two numbers, add 256 and 123. Okay, children, 256 and 123. Now how to estimate the sum? How to estimate this means, see, just now we have learnt about rounding the numbers, right? In the same way, we need to round off both the numbers and then find their sum. What is sum, children? Sum means addition. Yes. So here in the question, he did not say whether to round off to the nearest tens or to the hundreds. Yes. So what we'll do, we'll round off both to the tens and hundreds. Okay, children. First, rounding off to the tens. What is our first number? 256. 256. What are we doing? We are rounding off to the nearest 10. So what should we do? We should look at the digit in ones place. It is 6. This is greater than 5. So we round up. Yes, what do we mean by round up? We add 1 to the digit in tens place. Now this 2 as it is, 5 plus 1 6. And now what to do with the digit in ones place? We replace it with 0. Yes, in 10 we are having 0 in ones place. So we have written 0 here. 256 is rounded off as 260. Now the next number 123. Again this 123 to the nearest tens. Look at the digit in ones place. This is 3. It is less than 5. So we round down. What do we mean by round down? The numbers here in the tens place we write as it is 1, 2. And coming to the ones place, again we have 0. So we write 0 in place of 3. 123 is rounded down as 120. Yes, children. Now after we have rounded off both the numbers, we find out their sum. 260 plus 120. We know how to add, right? 0 plus 0, 0. 6 plus 2, 8. 2 plus 1, 3. So what is our sum? 380 is our sum here. Estimated sum rounded off to the tens. Now rounding off to the hundreds. The same numbers. 256. Now we are rounding off to the nearest hundreds. So we look at the digit in tens place. Just before hundreds we have tens. So we look at the digit in tens place. It is equal to 5. So we round up, adding 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Now in 100 we have 2 zeros here. So we replace the digits in tens and hundreds with zeros. 256 becomes 300. Yes, children. Coming to the second number, 123. Again rounding off to the hundreds. Look at the digit in tens place. It is 2. That is less than 5. So we round down. What do we mean by round down? The digit in hundreds place remains as it is. And as in 100 we have zeros in ones and tens place. We write zeros here in ones and tens place. Clear, children? 123 is rounded down as 100. Now after rounding off both the numbers, let us find the sum. 300 plus 100. 0 plus 0, 0. 3 plus 1, 4. 400, that is 400. What is this? This is the sum after rounding off to the tens, and 400 is the sum that we got after rounding to hundreds. Now without rounding, before rounding off the numbers, what answer do we get? This will be our sum. This is the normal addition we do. Understand, children? Understood? This is the estimating the sum. What should we do? First round off both the numbers and then find out the sum. Here we are doing difference. What are we doing? We are finding out the difference, estimated difference of 615 and 387. Again in the question they did not mention whether to round off to tens or to hundreds. So we are doing both. First number 615, rounding off to the nearest tens. Look at the digit in ones place. It is equal to 5. So we round up. That is add 1. 1 plus 1, 2. And 5 becomes 0 because rounding off to tens. Yes. 615 becomes 620. Coming to 387 children. Again look at the digit in ones place. It is greater than 5. So we are rounding up, that is adding 1. 3 as it is, 8 plus 1 9, and 7 becomes what? 0. Rounding off to tens. 10 has 0 in the ones place. So writing 0 in the ones place. 387 is rounded off as 390. Clear children? After rounding off both the numbers, we find out the difference. 620 minus 390. 0 minus 0, 0. 2 minus 9, not possible. So we'll borrow. 12 minus 9, 3. 5 minus 3, 2. What is our estimated difference, children? Our estimated difference is 230. Clear? This was rounding off to tens and finding the difference. Now moving on to rounding off to hundreds. The same numbers, 615. Rounding off to what? Hundreds. So we look at the digit in tens place. It is 1. Less than 5. So we round it down. 6 as it is and then 2 zeros. Yes, 6 as it is and 2 zeros. 615 becomes 600. Coming to the next number, 387. Again, 8 here is greater than 5. So we round up. That means we add 1. 3 plus 1, 4, and then 2 zeros. 387 becomes 400. Yes, children? Now we find out the difference. 600 minus 200. We know that 0 minus 0 is 0. Again 0 minus 0, 0. 6 minus 2, 4. Yes, children, what is the estimated difference here? Sorry, it was 400. Oh, 600 minus 400 is equal to 200. What is the estimated difference here? It is 200. Clear, children? Before rounding off, what is the difference? 615 minus 387. Now 5 minus 7 not possible, so we'll borrow. 15 minus 7, 8. Now again 0 minus 8 not possible, we'll borrow. 10 minus 8, 2. 5 minus 3, 2. 228. Clear, children? What was this? This was estimating the sums and differences. How will we do that? First, estimate the individual numbers and then find out the sum or the difference as asked in the question. I hope today's class was clear. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.